Caught between the ocean's depths and the Allied sky, the German submarine force began to collapse. The Allies began to anticipate attacks before they happened, routing ships safely through gaps in the invisible net. The hunters had become the hunted. By summer, Allied aircraft patrolled the Atlantic around the clock. With centimetric radar mounted on bombers, U-boats could no longer surface even at night to recharge batteries. The radar picked them up instantly. Caught between the ocean's depths and the Allied sky, the German submarine force began to collapse. No losses. It was the first time that had happened in months. He closed his eyes and exhaled slowly. That convoy carried enough fuel and food to sustain Britain through another winter. In Berlin, Dönitz sent the message no submariner wanted to hear. All U-boat operations in the North Atlantic suspended. 2 heavy losses. The Wolfpack era was over. But as celebrations broke out across London, Alan Blunt stood quietly by his window, the glow of radar consoles flickering behind him. He knew that technology, his technology, had opened a new kind of warfare, one fought not by sight or sound, but by signals and waves, invisible and unstoppable. He returned to the lab the next morning, just as he always did. No parades, but for Alan Blunt, the quiet engineer who once stared into fog chasing faint echoes, it would always be simpler than that. He hadn't built a weapon, he'd built a way to see, and in doing so, he helped the Allies win the longest, darkest battle of the Second World War, the one fought not in the trenches, but in the stormy silence of the Atlantic. From that moment on, the hunters of the deep were no longer unseen. Alan Blunt's radar, born from quiet obsession and sleepless nights, had given the Allies eyes in the dark and changed the course of history. Yet his invention saved thousands of lives, proving that victory sometimes belongs not to the generals, but to the minds working silently behind the lines.